Okay, now this
I love this.
this is a painting that I had shown you at a get together a
Mhm.
while ago, and now let's. Oh, okay, and it's kind of like an elemental thing of these rock forms and rhythmic structures, and it's a seascape. Now let me see if this will change. Yeah, okay. So this is looking at sort of like the calligraphic design of rock forms and then sort of playing around with that idea and making paintings just out of that. Um, so this is another painting with just sort of like the colored shapes and calligraphic uh, pieces of the rocks, and then this is another composition of these rock forms, and I don't know if you can see, but there's a little blue line at the top. So it's sort of like an abstraction with just this tiny bit of basically. I started to play around with what if I have just a little bit of water at the top of these abstractions, and uh, and then I would move this around, and essentially a lot of these are almost the same, but the color palette changes, and the ideas of what's beyond that line where the rocks meet the sea. And it just occurred to me the other day. There's been, I think, when I couldn't help but become more aware of my mortality during the last few months with all this crap that's going on, especially with the pandemic, and so it's kind of like what used to be kind of like a traditional seascape where there was a pile of rocks and some trees all of a sudden becomes this sort of like one zone, and then it stops, and then there's another kind of unknown zone beyond that. And so again, it's a lot of the same things but slightly different color and line patterns, and then right at the top some different kind of texture for a suggested otherly place like the sea. um, So there's all kinds of influences in this. I don't know, like Paul Klee, Maurice Prendergast, if you know these guys. Um, but there's a real beauty about watercolor and just kind of putting the paint down, and it just becomes this beautiful little luminous piece. And so that's kind of what I was after. I was like trying to find this all these little luminous pieces and putting them together, and just trying it in all different configurations. This one's a little more fluid, has sort of more momentum. Some of the other ones are like more quiet, and this one you can see the 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 brush strokes are more. I don't know. They're it just has a different feel. They're kind of like more directional. They kind of have energy, whereas the other ones it's more like patterns and how different shapes just kind of balance each other. And I do these paintings over and over again to try to get what I think is the right thing. So, there's a lot of similarities. And then I started to play around with, different ways to depict um, water patterns. So there's kind of like these rock patterns and water patterns, and then of course sky patterns. I guess that's it. So
Wow, it's great.
that's what I've been working on for the last several months.
It's great. It's wonderful.
Thanks.
I like the essence of what's beyond, and also there are several levels, especially that last one. There's the sea and then the sky. So there's. But early on, how the what's up front grabs you, but this you know beckons you.
Yeah, it's really an exploration of of an idea in all different ways. I mean, some are, this is really kind of more whimsical. Some are more kind of grave, have more gravitas maybe.
Yeah.
So it's a variety of approaches.
Bill, can you go back about 5 or so? Like go back. Can you go back or not?
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Keep go. I'll tell you when to
I
stop.
like that one.
Stop. No, no, no. Couple more.
Go ahead.
Couple more.
I like that one too.
Back. It's like, yes, right there. So this, when I first saw this, it was like, it's so awesome because it's like my imagination was that that's a rock wall, right? Because we've already set that up, right? But then that before you get to the actual sky, which is like in the horizon line in the back there, well, in at the top, but it's like I could see all these like little marine marine stuff going on in there. Like I'm imagining these little fish in the sea, and they're like going between these like white waves, and they're washing the water's all washing up white. And I'm thinking all these critters in there, and I'm thinking he's like made visible all of the things that are underneath the sea. It's just a different, they're reflecting now different colors, but it was just a really nice way to think about what the sea was, because the sea, you think of it as blue, but actually to think of like all the different colors that are actually in the sea, it was just kind of nice to see it on this sort of lighter background and think about all the different marine plants and animals that are there.
Well, I enjoyed experimenting with different colors. Like, well, that one, the sea is I have it's blue and pink and gray, and this one is gray and pink, and this one is green, blue, orange, yellow, violet. It's almost everything.
I like that one with the one previous with the sparkly
Oh,
yellow stuff is just that. It's just
mhm.
gorgeous. It's just, the sun is just leaping out.
Yeah. So it's been interesting to, I might have four of these paintings going at one time and just kind of work
Mm.
into it a little bit, let it dry, take it up, look at the color, try to find just the right color to go next and stuff like that.
But what you
So,
said about the watercolor, the effect of the blur, especially in that one on the sea, is just marvelous. It's kind of how if you squint, you get a blur like that.
and a lot of that is trying to keep the color transparent, but overlapping
Right.
pieces of the color. So you have like a dark blue on top of a light blue, or violet overlaps the blue, and then you get a little purple a darker purple where they overlap and stuff like that. So, and that does help to give kind of a shimmery kind of effect.
Yeah. Wow.
Is this your last one? What was your last one, Bill?
Oh, I don't know because they really kind of they all. I'm working on them.
No, I want to see it.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. That's the last one.
This is the last one. Ah, interesting.
I mean, this is not the last one I've done. This is just the last one on here, because I was working on I guess four more today or something. But
I tend to see the middle part with the smaller rectangles or, whatever's of color as a city. And to a certain
Yeah,
extent,
yeah.
this is a close-up of the city here and then off into the distance. And then I don't see the what's above that horizon. I see it as a horizon with pink clouds. It reminds me of my son taught in Tangier, for a couple of years, and the buildings, they're white and gleaming in the sun, but they're this kind of block shaped, you know, that you have the different shapes. These are really quite lovely. And also in your earliest ones that you were showing us, I was thinking about words. And when I show what I brought, I'll maybe talk about that a little bit before, but you're calligraphic. You mentioned calligraphic.
Mhm.
And I was thinking of words or
Mm.
letters, you know, on a page. And yeah, that was really pretty neat, really quite neat.
There have been many artists that worked in North Africa. I mean, European artists who went to North Africa, and they were so blown away by sort of like that combination of the architecture and the light, and looking at the cities there. Um, it really changed the way they, you know, it changed their work for the rest of their lives. So it's interesting that your son was there and you commented on it. I've never been there, but I've looked at lots of pictures.
Mhm, mhm.
Bill, that's great.
Well, thanks.
Enough of that.
Yeah,
Thank you, Bill. That
Sure.
That
was
was wonderful. That was great.
yeah.